In this video, I'm going to teach you how to load an automobile or car into the back of a box truck. In this case, it's one of our moving trucks here. And this is something that we do quite often here for our customers who are moving out of state. Sometimes they don't want to drive their car, they elect to fly and then Uber to their home, where we can drop off their automobile so they don't have to worry about driving long distances. Hello, my name is Sean. I'm with Stumpf Moving Storage, and I'm your go-to guide for anything and everything moving and storage related. In this video, we're going to dive deep on that unique topic, how to load an automobile in the back of a box truck. That's right, it can be done, and it's done all the time. Now, you have a few things you have to take in consideration here. Not every truck has close spacing of the beams that go along the frame rail that hold the floor in place. You guys want to make sure that your floor is rated to do something like this before you go ahead and load an automobile in the back of it, because you could have catastrophic issues if your truck's not built for that. Now, there's three ways you can load a vehicle into the back of a box truck. You can use auto loader ramps, also known as walk boards, and they come in fiberglass or aluminum. We'll get into that in just a second if you guys aren't sure what we're talking about, but for those of you guys in the four-wheeling community, you might have an idea what I'm talking about. The second option you have is to hire a flatbed tow truck to lift the car onto the flatbed and then back the flatbed up to the box truck and drive the vehicle onto the box truck from there. And then when you go to deliver it, you do the same thing. You hire a flatbed, you drive the vehicle onto the flatbed, and then the flatbed tilts and away you go. You're good to go. It's super easy that way, really no stress. And finally, the third option you have is to find a loading dock where you can just back the truck up to and drive the vehicle onto the back of the box truck. Now, with that being said, we're going to show you the most standard way that moving industry professionals load automobiles in the back of our moving trucks here. And again, for this example, we're going to be using one of our box trucks, which is a legitimate 26-foot Kentucky body moving van. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open the back of the truck. We're going to latch the doors back because we don't want them swinging just in case. And I'm going to assess what we already have here on the truck, and that is our auto loader ramps, also known as walk boards. These are the 16-foot auto loaders. We've already gone ahead and moved everything up and out of the way. All of our pads, dollies, ladders, everything is up in the front. We have this nice big workspace here to load the car. Before I pull these auto loader ramps out, I'm going to go and I'm going to lower the back of this truck. Now, we have a dump valve in the back of this truck because it's dock height, so it means it's pretty high. It's not like your standard moving van with the low profile tires. That would be amazing if we had low pro tires and a 16-foot walk board mixed with a dump valve, because that would create an easy transition as we go up the ramp with the vehicle. Because this truck is a little higher, it has a steeper angle, even with the 16-foot walk boards and the dump valve. But that's fine with big trucks, SUVs, things like that. But when you get into the low cars, it gets a little iffy, and we have to use longer ramps or another transition type ramp. But in this case, we're going to be loading a truck that sits a little higher, so these are fine. We're just going to go ahead and dump the rear. Up here in the front of the truck, our dump valve is located right here, right where it says down. The rear is lowered, so we're good to go. We're good to pull these out. Now, believe it or not, there is a right and a wrong way to do this. These ramps have a transition side and a cap side. The cap side would go on the top here. It's almost like a little ledge that will sit right on the back of the truck. And you'll know it's the right side because it has a pinhole. I'll show you a closer look once I pull these out. We have to attach the pinhole. Now, these are our walk ramps made by Geralco. Not the only manufacturers of ramps. We're going to go ahead and list more in the description below if you're interested. At the top here, we have a pinhole that's going to match a hole here on the truck. Now, the truck didn't come with these. We've had to go ahead and pre-drill these to line up with our pinholes. And same goes here for the other side. We have another one here. And walk boards, whether it's Drolco or Melcher or any of the other manufacturers, they're going to have pins. The pins are found right here on the walk ramp, regardless of the manufacturer. There should be a location on the walk ramp that the pins are found. Once we've found it, we're going to go ahead and line up our holes. We're going to take our pin and a rubber mallet, and we're going to give it a few taps, making sure it sets in place. So the pin has been set. As you can see, we're locked in place. The ramp should not go anywhere. Now we'll go ahead and focus our attention here on this side. Again, we're going to take the pin out from underneath. We're going to go ahead and line this up. And once we're happy with where it's at, we'll set the pin in place. We'll take our rubber mallet, give it a few taps, making sure it's in. Come down underneath here. It's in. We've placed it correctly. It's time to make sure that the rear end of the ramps are spaced correctly so we can load that guy onto the truck. Once we've locked the ramps in place, it's time to bring the vehicle up and make sure that we have the correct spacing here at the bottom. We don't want them to be in too far or out too far because that could cause a problem for us. We want to make sure that they are parallel with the body of the truck. All right, now it's time to get the vehicle onto the truck. There's a part where it's really nice to have a spotter. If you don't have a spotter, you got to really take your time. I highly recommend having one. I've done this multiple times, so I'm comfortable doing it myself. Now we want to make sure that those wheels in the front are lined up. You can see we look pretty good there. We look pretty good here. Just a matter of going up straight now. All right, it was that easy. Now that I have the vehicle inside of our box truck, it's time to strap it down. Now there are several different ways you can do this, and there's more than a few people out there who have their die-hard beliefs about how this is done, but just know there's a lot of science that goes into securing automobiles for transport, and what I'm going to show you here is just one way you can do that. Now I've gone ahead and used our old auto-loading straps with a new technique. Now this technique I'm going to teach you here is the 8-point harness system, and all I had to do for this, I didn't even have to go out and buy new straps. I just had to go out and buy an add-on part to the ones I already have here. Now I'm using ratchet straps, and this one here just happens to be from an old auto-loading strap, because I'm using this one because it's shorter, and I've gone ahead and I've removed the longer section here that would normally click into like a flatbed, and I'm going to be using one of our older regular butterfly E-track connectors, because all we have here is E-track and it's on the walls, so we're going to be mounting low. And then I went out and got this. This is a dog bone strap, and it's from Miyachi. I have this linked in the description below if you guys want to get one of these for yourself. I'm seeing more and more tow companies go with this type of system because it's supposed to be better for modern automobiles with fancy wheels. If you need any of the equipment that we use here, including those straps that we use to hold automobiles down in the back of our trucks, please go ahead and take a look in the description below. We have them all linked right there for you. We're going to be taking our strap, running it through, just like that, leaving a big gap here, okay? Now that we have this set up, it's time to get it on the wheel. We're just going to come around to the front here. We're going to run this strap all the way around. I'm going to need some slack here though, right? So I'm going to bring this down as low as I possibly can. If you're working a flatbed, this is going to be much easier because you can load from the side. We can't, so that's just tight. Okay. Now, from what I've been told, the key here is to get this in close as possible. We don't want the strap rubbing on any of the components behind here, so we want to keep it up off the axle, low enough that it's going to hold around the tire. Push that strap in, ratchet it down. Here we go. I have the dog bone on all of the wheels here. It's really hard to see in here, but those are ratcheted down. And guys, it's just running around the top. It's cranked down. Might be able to see in the back end there a little bit. We have it up off the components. Since we do a lot of automobile transports here, we want to make sure that we're doing it as safe as possible. And again, this is the newest method that I've seen, but the theory behind this is that as you strap each wheel down individually, it's going to allow the suspension of the vehicle to ride as it would if it were going down the street. So just as the wheels are fixed to the ground, the wheels are now fixed to the bed floor here of the truck, and it's going to allow the suspension to travel as we're going down the road. Now, the other thing about this particular truck that I've loaded the automobile into is that this truck has air ride, so that's going to help us as we're going down the road. This truck is going to ride nice and smooth, even over bumps and things like that. So there should be no shifting of the automobile that's in the rear here. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'll slide these ramps in here because they're too long to fit underneath where the walkboard holder is. Since we're done here, I just slid those walkboards into the truck and underneath the automobile because they are too long to fit underneath the truck here. Now I just have to close up the doors. And we can hit the road. I hope you found this video helpful and informative, and if you did, please hit that like button for me, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos about the moving and storage industry and some helpful hints and tips. While you're at it, if you'd like to learn more about who we are and what we do, you can find all of our social accounts as well as our website linked right down there in the description below. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about these really unique kind of jobs that we have going on here, please click and tap the screen here. If you'd like to learn about how to prepare for your move, please click and tap the screen here. And if you'd like to know what it's like to be a mover, go ahead and click and tap the screen right here, and we'll catch you in the next one.